What is going on, guys?
LJ and
Almighty Side. This
Up in
is
this beach.
episode 11.
Back to back to back.
Back
Have
to
we ever done
back.
this before?
Here we are again. Oh shit. Okay. Alright, that is D-Row. April Fools. You know what it is.
Buy that shit. Lay your money down. It's a lot of fake money.
I
had to do that.
Alright, LJ. Dude, what's up?
Blood pressure.
Blood pressure. My blood pressure.
Not bad, though. I'm doing real good. We got this podcast going. I'm COVID-free, and I'm just suffering the symptoms of the second injection still.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
So hell yeah. Today's a good day.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Bars.
Start the stopwatch.
But yeah, start the stopwatch so we know
bada boom,
how
bada
far
bang.
we go, how much we do. You know
Bang,
the
bada
shit.
chicka
You know the
wang.
deal. You know what it is.
What are we even saying?
I don't know.
And a thing but a chicken wang.
Yes, guys, you see us again in the same clothes. Why? Because we don't take showers.
Except I got a hat. Yo.
No, we had to do this one back to back because, like I said last podcast, that you'll see last week, because this is next week, that we had to change the schedule around, so we had to pop up to the same day. So we took a little break. Now we're back here, and we have some more shit to talk about. I will say last week, I just found out that 9mm produced an album with a guy named D-Row. That's what you heard at the beginning of this podcast. I'm going to shout him out again, and we're going to talk about the album a little bit and so on and so forth. But as of right now, like, we're going to be talking about some music. We got a lot of shit. We got some music, a list. We were supposed to do it. We were supposed to do it last week, and we didn't. So we're doing it this week. This is going to be the next 5 of our top 10 or top 20 favorite rappers list.
20?
Yeah, because
we're
gonna go to 20. We did 5 last time on episode 5. We're doing 5 this episode for 11.
Oh, just 5? Okay.
Yeah, just 5 today. But I think we're gonna go up to 20. I think what we're gonna do. And what we're going to do, guys, if you're avid listeners or you watch the podcast or listen to the podcast, whatever the fuck you do, I'm going to post this on my Instagram, and we're going to vote from the best rapper head-to-head through the list. So I know that LJ's was Snow the Product last time.
Yep.
And my favorite was Mac Miller, so it'll go like that. Snow the Product, Mac Miller, and so on and so forth, and they'll go head-to-head, and whoever wins that one will go into the next ranking, and then the next ranking to see who is actually the best rapper of the top 10 that we have.
Hell yeah.
Bada bing. Bada bing. But
bada boom.
So that's that. I would say, hey, it's been crazy as fuck, but we haven't really done anything since then.
Since the last 45 minutes?
Since the last 45 minutes.
What?
What the fuck?
What the fuck? Trying to remember this dude's name. Oh, I know.
Oh, what are you doing? You can't change your list right now?
My list had repeats on it from last podcast. Look, man, okay. I can't mention fucking Snow the Product both episodes.
I can't talk shit.
Or can I?
I can't talk shit because, yes, guys, I talked to LJ. He said it was fine. I fucked up last episode 5. I put somebody on there that shouldn't have been on there, and I needed to add somebody that should have been on there.
Yeah, like Lowdown.
I will say this. I put JID on my top fave 5, and it was wrong. I'm sorry. I apologize, JID. You were a recommended, and I totally it just slipped my mind. I should have put Immortal Technique on that list. LJ said it was fine, so I put Immortal Technique on my top fave 5.
They were flexible.
And JID will be on my top fave 5 for the 10.
Our Fab 5 coming in
Bada
hot.
boom, bada boom, bada boom.
We're going to present to you our 2 lists, which contain our favorite 5 contestants in the rap game. Are you ready, Almighty Sai?
I'm ready. Who's gonna go first? You want to go first or me?
I always go first. You go first.
Oh, you want me to go first?
Hell yeah.
Fuck.
Whip it out.
You know what? I'm gonna play some music in the background for it.
License free, please.
Yeah, license free.
License fucking free.
I
gotta stop fucking cussing. God.
That's all right. I was talking about. Oh, speaking of
cussing.
No, actually, I'm gonna pause here real quick. I want to shout out some people. I talked about them last podcast a little bit. There is a few guys that do a podcast. It's called the Ascending Podcast. Let me get all of their information out right now because I want to shout them out. They're really awesome people. They let me on their podcast, and it was great. It was a great time. So the podcast is on Apple Podcasts. It's on Spotify. It's on all of the good shit.
It's on Spoofy.
I know that it's not on YouTube, and I didn't ask them why. But next time they're on the podcast, we might get them on our podcast. We'll talk about it. But it's called the Ascendings Podcast with Brian Chu and G Mantis. Brian Chu as BRYANCHEW and G Mantis as capital G MANTIS. The Ascendings Podcast is ASCENDING. And they talk about some crazy shit. They're very political. They talk about political corruption. They talk about the government. And I was on there. And if you want to hear me rant about the wage crisis, because they wanted to touch up on that. If you want to hear me talk about religion and how it's fucked up in the community, you can go watch that. And it's a fun time. It was my first time to be on someone else's podcast. And they welcomed me, and it was awesome because it just kind of flowed. It was just like, hey, what's up? And then we just started talking, and it just would not stop. And they're like, do we have to stop talking? And I was like, I don't want to. I feel like this. I mean, if I feel like I was Alex Jones with Joe Rogan and shit. So go check them out. They're really cool, badass people, and their podcast is fucking popping. So I just wanted to shout them out because last week I said their names and shit.
Hell yeah, man. Hey, that reminds me of this song that I'm writing. I'm actually thinking of writing this new song, but I got the word butt cheeks in it, and I need to know if it's one word or if I should spread it apart.
That was good. That was a good ass joke.
Sorry, I stole that.
That was a good ass joke, dude. That was oh man. Oh, no, that fucking made me think of Sita. That made me
Thank you very much.
That made me think of Sita, bro. You know what Sita is?
Sita?
Yeah.
No.
See this bulge in my pants. Hey, fucking got him.
This would be this one kid in school. He'd be like, "Do you like CDs or tapes?" And I'm like, CDs. And he'd be like, "CDs nuts." And I'm like, okay, tape. He goes, "Tape these nuts to your mouth." I was like, what the fuck, dude?
Speaking of fucking,
good one.
Speaking of fucking crazy shit, did you hear about that rapper E10?
E10.
Yeah, E10.
E10.
E10 these nuts.
I love fucking shit like that. I was sending fucking dad jokes that I wrote to the family group that we have on Messenger, just to piss people off because wasting their time brings joy to my life. So
just wasting time. Yeah, bad dad jokes are dope.
So I'm gonna take a minute just to read a couple of these because I think they're funny as shit.
Let me hear them. Actually, give me a list of bad dad jokes and we'll rate them from 1 to 10.
Yeah, let me get this. Sorry. Shit, where is it?
Shit, no.
Okay. The first one that I came up with was, what do dogs put in their garden? Cauliflower. That one makes me cringe.
That was like a 4.
Cringe.
That was a 4, dude.
Yeah. Check this one out. I came up with this when I was stalking at work, and I made a fucking coworker face palm. Ready? Yo, where does buttermilk come from?
Where?
A caterpillar.
Get the fuck out of here. Get the fuck out of here.
If I can waste your time with some
Get
pointless,
outta here.
cute little joke, then I've done my life's job. Thank
Let's
you.
see.
Good night.
Let's see. Let me see what I can get. Let me see if I can get some good dad jokes in here.
Love dad jokes.
Best dad jokes. Let's see. List. Best dad joke list. 145 dad jokes. Here
Do we have time for all of them? No. Maybe.
I'm afraid of the calendar.
Why?
Its days are numbered. My wife said I should go do lunges to stay in shape.
Yeah?
That would be a big step forward. Why do fathers take an extra pair of socks when they go golfing?
I don't know why.
Well, in case they get a hole in one. I'll be here all fucking week, guys.
These are gold. These are better than the ones I usually hear.
Singing in the shower is fun until you get soap in your mouth.
Yeah?
Then it's a soap opera. That one's dumb as fuck. That one's soap opera.
I've seen some like if your car suspension is bad, what should you do? Strut.
This one right here is good. We got like 4 more, but this one's really good. What do a tick and an Eiffel Tower have in common?
I don't know why.
They're both Paris sites. That one was fucking good. What do you call a fish wearing a bow tie?
What do you call it?
Sophisticated.
Sophisticated.
That one's fucking trash.
That's cute. I like
it. How do you follow Will Smith in the snow?
How do you?
You follow the Fresh Prince. That one was good. That shit was
Prince.
good. The Fresh Prince in the snow. Get it?
Yeah.
Fresh Prince in the snow.
That reminds me. Have you ever seen the show Animaniacs, like the original one?
Oh,
from back
yeah.
In the day?
Yeah.
Okay. So back in the day, there was this episode where they were detectives. All right, they're in this place or whatever, and one of them goes, "All right, now we have to look for fingerprints." So this one girl, I think her name is Dottie.
Yeah.
Sorry, it's Dot. It's Dot. So she shows up holding Prince in her arms, the singer. She goes, "Hey, I found Prince," and the guy goes, "No, fingerprints." And she looks at him. He goes, and she goes, "Yeah, not happening."
Dude, I love them, and I love Pinky and the Brain, dude.
Pinky and the Brain was my shit.
What are we gonna do now, Brain?
The same thing we do every night. Pinky, take over the world.
The Pinky and the Brain, Pinky and the Brain. That's you and me, dude.
Yeah.
I think
Which one am
us.
I though? I think I'm Pinky because I'm a dork.
Dude, I think you're more because your raps they're fucking
They're
maniacal.
dark.
Yeah.
I got some fucking.
So
dark.
I think you're Brain. I'm Pinky.
Someone at work, because I described to them that I do horrorcore, but it's kind of funny.
Right.
And they were like, so essentially, it's like having a ball pit, but it's full of butcher knives. I'm like, yes.
No, it's Have you seen Saw 2?
Yes.
It's,
the syringes.
It's
Jesus
syringes
Christ.
under the bed. That's you right there, bro.
God.
It's a ball pin filled with HIV infested syringes.
That okay, like the Saw movies. I'm a gorehead. I love Goremeister, whatever.
Right.
I love gory movies. There are some scenes that like the tension and the buildup,
Right.
making me fucking anxious. And Saw does it every time.
Saw, dude.
Oh my god, dude! It's easier to see the gory scene than it is to actually build up to it. Because like when it's building up, I'm like, fuck, man, kill her already, shit.
I don't want to fucking. Okay, so the list of movies that fucking freak me out is very small.
Yeah.
But it's the dumbest movies to freak me out. So I literally got traumatized from Saw 2. That movie in itself
That's
traumatized
justified.
me.
It's got a lot of fucked up scenes.
Yeah,
though.
and I watched it with fucking Aunt Neva. I was a kid and we were watching it at the apartment that she was living at, and dude, it fucking traumatized me. That movie, I did not want to go home. I thought I was gonna get kidnapped and fucking die, so on and so forth. Anyway, so every time I watch a Saw movie, they scare me.
Yeah.
Like I love watching them. But the feeling that I get is why I watch them, right?
Yeah.
So we have the Saw movies, the Texas Chainsaw Massacre movies.
I got to see the original one from '74.
Yeah, dude.
I want to see that one.
I was a kid, and it was the 2003 version. I think that's what it was. The 2003 version of Texas Chainsaw
remake. Fuck,
and,
man, that was brutal. I like that one.
Yeah, and that one traumatized me as a kid. and The Grudge, the first Grudge movie.
Have you seen the newest Halloween movie just called Halloween?
Yeah, yeah.
My favorite part on there is where he's just going down the street fucking people up in their
Yeah.
homes. I was like, that's like that Halloween song I wrote. Fuck yeah, that came out a year after I wrote that song, and I was like, wow, that's crazy, man.
But yeah, you're right about the saws, man. You're right about the saws. They have that intense, like, you will fucking die if you don't do what I say.
Yeah, there are two movies movie franchises that I really like because the kills are super creative. One of them is Nightmare on Elm Street because
Yeah.
they do some really cool shit because it's a dream world. And I always
Right.
thought that the prospect of a killer that chases you in your dreams is really unique. And I don't think that's probably ever going to be topped. My other one is Child's Play because,
yeah.
Chucky, dude.
Yeah, Chucky, dude.
That
yeah.
motherfucker, like, the scene that freaked me out was in the second movie. This is the first one I ever saw where he comes after the teacher.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he fucking hits her in the chest with a bicycle pump and then walks out of the closet with a yardstick. And he's like, "You've been very naughty, Miss Cattlewell." And you just see the yardstick in the window and you hear her screaming over and over.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh my God. It's so fucking cool.
I got something for you. Who would win in a battle? So we have Freddy Krueger versus Jason.
Yeah.
Freddy versus Jason movie. I thought of something. Freddy versus It.
Freddy versus It. That's interesting. Because It uses, Pennywise uses fear.
Yeah.
But Freddy Krueger needs you to be afraid of him in order for him to have power.
Well, no.
Well, the movies keep changing the rules, though.
Actually, you know what? It versus Freddy Krueger versus Jeepers Creepers. Because they all involve fear. You have to be afraid of Jeepers Creepers. You have to be asleep to be afraid with Freddy Krueger. And it just eats your fear.
In all fairness,
it is
though,
just fear.
I think the Freddy Krueger victims are probably the smartest in any of those scenarios. Well, actually, no. Pennywise's victims
Pennywise.
because he's got like the lowest body count.
Yeah.
Except when you count like the mountain of clothing and shit. We don't know how many of those kids like survived with the arm missing or whatever.
He eats children because he knows that they can fear them the most.
In the book, which I have a first edition of, thank you, Neva. It has a scene where it's talking about like hundreds of children go missing every 27 years.
Right.
I was like, that's a lot of fucking kids.
But
so
how afraid? Like if you were a kid, everything fucking scares you. So all Pennywise would have to do is just figure out what scares you the most, and then that's how he gets you.
I'd be more afraid. I think I'm more afraid of Freddy Krueger because I mean,
there's no way I cannot sleep.
Yeah, there's no way. And he's like, I love the remake for the sole purpose they incorporated micro naps as an idea.
Yeah.
There's a scene in there where they're in the pharmacy and Freddy, like the scene keeps changing from the boiler room to the pharmacy and he's scraping his hand on the wall and you see shit flying off the shelf in the pharmacy.
Yep.
I was like, that is genius. So much wasted potential in that movie, but that scene is like the fucking best.
And Freddy Krueger has so we'll get to him in a minute, but we have that, and then Jeepers Creepers, you have to be afraid of him, or you have to smell like he smells fear. So for him to even want to eat you, you have to be afraid.
I think those victims were the dumbest though, because they'd like run.
Yeah.
They're like, we can make it. You know.
Good
job, Chad.
And you know what's weird? Well, except for Freddy Krueger, but Jeepers Creepers comes back every what? 23?
I think it's 23 years, yeah.
And then it comes back every 28?
27.
27?
Yeah, some shit like that.
And Jeepers Creepers comes whenever you're asleep. That's so weird. Like, I don't think anybody's made this little thought go into play here.
There's this thing. Okay, so the writer for Chucky, Don Mancini,
right?
He talked about one time after Freddy vs. Jason came out, he wanted to have a Freddy Krueger versus Chucky movie.
Yeah.
Here's why that would work, and I hope Hollywood's listening.
You better listen up.
He said it would be really cool, and I agree, to have like where, Freddy and Chucky meet each other in the dream world because, Chucky's a doll, he can fall asleep.
Right.
And he's like, oh, hey, man, I'm a real big fan of yours. Thanks, man. Cool, whatever. And so then they just have a contest to see who can kill the most people, and then they get jealous, and so they go after each other.
You know it's crazy that you say that?
Yeah.
Is because Chucky, Freddy Krueger, and Scream are the funniest, I don't know what you would call them, murderers?
Yeah.
Their comic relief is fucking
they'll
phenomenal.
kill somebody and then have a throwaway line like...
and it's weird because Scream is maniacal. It's like very sinister.
Yeah.
But the way he says it, it's just like, dude, this is a fucking joke to you. Like, it's funny as fuck.
Yeah. That first movie freaked me out too because the main girl died in the beginning, and I'm like, okay, this is gonna be pretty unpredictable. All right.
Yeah. Freddy Krueger, he's just funny altogether, and then Chucky, he just makes everything a joke.
Do you prefer a scary Freddy Krueger or a funny Freddy Krueger? Like scary as in the first two movies and the remake, or funny as in everything else?
I feel like it's more off-putting that he's funny while he's killing you.
I think his humor has to be subtle. I like how he sometimes uses humorous kills, but I think that like it's better whenever it's a really dark kill, like in the third movie where he pulled the chick through the TV, her face, and he goes, "Welcome to primetime, bitch," which was improvised.
Yeah.
Another favorite one is from that same movie where he pulls this guy's tendons out of his arms and controls him like a marionette.
Oh, yeah.
And the dude's a sleepwalker anyway, so they just ignore him. And he ends up jumping off the top of the tower or falling, whatever.
Right.
Yeah. I was like, that's fucking cool. Like, and they were dark as fuck.
Yeah, dark as fuck. Freddy versus Jason, same thing. Where the girl falls asleep, she's having a dream about getting plastic surgery, and he goes, "Got your nose," and she flicks it off.
Yeah.
And then they go to the Crystal Lake.
Yeah.
That's where Jason lives, right? Crystal Lake, and he's right there at that cabin, and he's holding a dead girl, and he's fucking her, and he goes, "Well, you never seen a guy fuck a dead girl before?"
This bitch is dead on her feet.
And he starts laughing. That shit's like, what the fuck? What the fuck? I mean, like you laugh at it. It's funny, but at the same time, it's like if that shit really happened,
weird, man.
It'd be so fucking weird to see. So we have It versus Freddy Krueger versus Jeepers Creepers, and then we have Freddy Krueger versus Child's Play versus Scream. And which, by the way, Scream is so underrated. I feel like yes, there are big fans of Scream, but have you seen the MTV Scream, the TV series?
I have not,
dude.
I saw it got 3 stars,
amazing.
and I was like, should I trust this?
Now I will say the last season that they did, I think they did 3 seasons, 1 and 2. Amazing. It's so fucking amazing because
that's cool.
If you were raised, if like you grew up with Scream, you kind of get the feel of like you already know what's going to happen. Somebody's going to die, something's going to happen, and they have that in that show.
That's
where it's
dope.
like it's a like they record it real weird. The visuals are like the same as the movies. It's all foggy. It's dark all the time, and then someone gets a call, and it's like, "I know what you did, you son of a bitch," and then somebody fucking dies. You know, like. That's what I like about Scream is that it just brings me back. It's nostalgic, you know? And so when I watched the TV series, I was like, this is actually dope. Now the third one kind of fucked up. And a lot of people say that, and it's not because of the actors. It's that they took it a new way, and it didn't work out.
The thing that fucks with me about Scream is that they always have a different killer with like usually the same modus operandi.
Yeah,
in the first movie, I think it was like they were trying to make a perfect movie or some shit like that,
right,
a perfect
right.
murder. And then like the motives, well, they're obviously revenge, but like each person from movie to movie had like different motives. But I mean, they still had some cool kills.
Right, and in the show, in the MTV show or the MTV Scream show, it's the same way because you find out who's the killer at the end of the season, and then another killer shows up, and it's there's always a motive on why they do it.
That's pretty dope. There's a bunch of Jason movies, Friday the 13th movies that I love just because of the kills. Some of them are in the first movie,
right,
where it was his mom. Spoiler alert.
If you haven't watched the first one, Jesus Christ, you're living under a fucking rock.
There are some cool movies out there, like Part 6 in particular, where they have a chick who's psychic and she fucks Jason up, which is like this first encounter with the Freddy concept. But there's a movie called Jason Goes to Hell, The Final Friday. This movie is camp as fuck, but it's done in such a way that like you could just like basically, I mean, it's ridiculous.
Right.
And the kills in there are absurdly like they're funny, but they're cool.
Yeah.
Like there's one where this couple's having sex in a camping tent thing. Camping tent. So like she's on top, cowgirling it on and shit, and you see a fucking street post go through her body and splatters the dude with blood. He's freaking out. And in the unrated version, they actually show it going like this on her.
Oh shit.
And yeah, it fucks her up. It's pretty cool.
Dang. Well, that's like the same as Freddy versus Jason, where at the beginning that guy and the girl are having sex on the bed, and she's cowgirling it up too, and then Jason just stabs him, or he's under the bed. He's under the bed and stabs through. and then he folds the bed.
Oh, he was on top. He goes.
Oh yeah,
like
he was on
that.
top, and then
The
he
dude was
folds
trying
them.
to reach for something and
and then
fucking folded
and
it.
then the guy in the cornfield, he was like, "Who the fuck are you?" And Jason just gets his hand and fucking breaks his neck, and he's just turned around and he falls.
Yeah.
Like, oh, and then Jason X. I don't know if you ever seen Jason
Yeah,
X,
that's
where
some crazy
they
shit.
do the camping simulation.
Yeah.
And the girl's in the sleeping bag. She's like, "Oh, what's going on?" He's all fucking beating her with the tree.
He fucking beat one girl with another girl in a sleeping bag, and you hear her like, "Ow, ow."
It's so dumb.
I do
dude.
like some cool fucking deaths in there. Like they grabbed this one chick, stuck her face in liquid nitrogen, pulled it out, and just slammed her face on the counter. I'm like,
Oh,
"Damn,
dude.
Jason."
There's a I don't know if you've seen it, but there is a Friday the 13th game.
Yeah, I've seen it. I wanted to play it.
So there's that game, but there's a phone game. It's like a little like quiz. It's like a little puzzle game, and I like playing puzzle games because it gets me going, you know.
Oh, that's
But
cool.
it's Friday the 13th, and it's a room with people in it, and you have to get to the people like with swipes and shit. And
Yeah.
whenever you get close to them, he does like fatalities and shit. And
That's fucking dope.
it's pretty cool.
I like how they put slasher villains in all the Mortal Kombat games too.
Oh yeah,
Like in,
that's true.
In MK9, they had Freddy Krueger, and Jason. In MKX, they went ape shit.
Yeah.
They were like, let's put Jason Voorhees, Predator, Alien. Leatherface. I loved Leatherface's fatalities, and I loved Jason's shit too.
Did they
like,
put Joker on there too?
in the new one? Yes.
Yeah.
Joker's fatalities are fucking brutal.
Really?
Yeah.
That's insane.
There's one where like he hands them a cake, and you know they're all surprised, and you see this sign come down that says "friendship" in balloon letters.
Right.
So then he pulls out a fucking machine gun, and the cake explodes and throws them up in the air. It blew their arms off. So he's shooting them while they're in the air on the sign, and the balloons pop, and it's this fatality behind it. And then they fall down, and then the fucking sign breaks and cuts her face in half. And I'm like,
shit.
oh my god, man, that
That's
was
crazy.
excessive.
People, Mortal Kombat, man, the games, they be going fucking wild on this shit. Where we at on time?
Oh shit,
We've been
Yeah.
talking about movies and shit fucking
I
forever.
love slasher movies.
Dude,
Southwest Slasher was inspired by that shit.
Let's find out. Let's figure out what's
25 minutes.
Let's figure out what's actually like playing in the. Because remember, before COVID, we would go to the fucking movies and we watch horror flicks.
I
and
remember.
Shit.
And now I work
fucking
on
miss it.
Tuesdays.
I fucking miss it, man. We need to do that again.
May bless it. No.
I know. My tattoo's a lot better. It was getting real dry and stuff, and now it's like getting real itchy because my hair is growing back.
This tattoo right here, this is where I got my COVID shot, the second one. My nephew blessed it whenever I first got it. And I was driving with my mom. I was like, hey, check this out, Chris. He sees it and immediately slaps it. I was like, you motherfucker.
Oh,
so my mom's
dude.
like, hey, you can't cuss. I was like, he just slapped my tattoo. She's like, well, don't get tattoos. I'm like, what the fuck?
What the fuck?
But anyways, whenever he got a tattoo, he let me bless it. And I was like, yeah, motherfucker.
Yeah.
But he didn't react. He was just like, yeah, whatever. The
Ah.
same motherfucker. I think I mentioned this before. When I was an alcoholic, like one day him and my friend Leroy were drinking in their apartment. They were getting smashed and they were playing beer pong by themselves. Just the two
Oh
of them.
yeah.
So I was like, all right, whatever. So I went over to go get some food from them because they were barbecuing indoors.
Barking
They had hamburger patties in the oven and steaks. And I was like,
Oh,
okay,
fuck.
then I'll get a pork chop, whatever. So I go over and my nephew is trash. He doesn't even remember this. So like, I was all like, well, I'll see you guys later, man. He's like, wait, hold on. So my nephew goes over to the oven. He grabs a fucking pork chop and brings it to me, and he hands it to
Oh
me.
my god.
He hands it to me, and I'm like, oh my, what the fuck, dude? He didn't even react. He just held it out of the oven like this. That dude's crazy.
Makes
I love
no
him.
fucking sense. Here you go, man. Like, thanks, man. Burn your fucking hand.
He does not give a fuck. It's just the funniest shit. Like, who does that, first of all? How drunk do you have to be to not feel any pain when you reach into the oven, grab onto a hot pork chop, and hand it to a dude?
Dude, I remember. I mean, I wasn't drunk or anything, but I
God.
remember that I just didn't think twice. I had a oven mitt. I got this pan of corn dogs out, and it was too heavy for me to hold with one hand. So I put my other hand down. I put my other hand on it, and I burned the shit. I burned
Oh,
my
shit.
palm. I was like, because I had it like this, but it was because it was too heavy. I didn't want to drop all of them. So I was like, oh fuck, and I put it on the oven, and my fucking hand was swollen for a few days.
Jesus.
It was bad.
For some reason, that reminds me. Also, there's an incident a long time ago where my dad, he used to work at Ely Furniture.
Right.
So they had this hot plate just chilling on the counter or whatever, and I'm like 6 years old.
Right.
And he goes, all right, you can hang out back here, but don't touch. Ah! And he fucking
He
burned
does
his
it to
hand on this
himself?
hot plate that's plugged in for no reason.
Damn.
So then he drove home, and I'm laughing at him the whole time, of course. My brother Denny is too. And my dad gets a frozen stick of butter and starts rubbing it on his hand. And I've read now as an adult that that's not what you're supposed to do.
Yeah, you shouldn't put butter on something that's burning. Yeah.
Oh my god,
dude. There's a lot of like home remedies that people fucking do, and they don't even know why they do it. You know, it's like what's the fuck?
colita de rana.
I do that shit. I'm like sana corito de rana.
You ever seen that movie, My Big Fat Greek Wedding, where they fucking fix everything with Windex?
Yeah.
The dad's all like, the dude burned himself, and the dad's like,
Put it on there. It's fine. Get an infection. But
yeah.
Want to do this list?
Yeah.
You want to fucking get on this list and shit?
Get on it.
Okay, let's do this list then.
By the way, how's my performance, y'all? Because I feel like shit. I should be in bed, but I'm not. I'm here with y'all.
Something's going on here.
I hear it out my right earbud.
So do I.
Or headphone. I mean, see what I mean?
Huh. This is weird. There it goes.
Oh, yeah, there we go.
Here it goes. Sorry about that, guys.
Yeah,
we're gonna do our list. This is gonna be the top 5 of the. This is, I don't even know how to say it. We did a top 5 on episode 5. We were supposed to do another top 5 on episode 10, but
we fucked up and forgot.
Yeah, next, like I said, this will be the day on episode 11. We'll get back on it. We'll do a on episode 15 in the next top 5. We're gonna do a top 20. That's how far we're gonna go. So this episode is from 5 to 10.
Before you get into that, I just wanted to say, we have as many MOSHCAST episodes now as there are mainline Mega Man games.
No shit.
11, yes.
Bada bing.
Bada boom.
You know how it is.
We ain't counting Mega Man and Bass. That game is bullshit.
Dude, I
Fuck you, Mega Man.
I can't wait until next year when we've been doing this for a whole year.
I can't wait till the next Mega Man game. But that's that too.
Yeah, fuck the podcast. So
MOSHCAST.
LJ wants me to go first, so I'm gonna do it first. And like I said, I apologize. I'm putting Immortal Technique on my top favorite 5 at episode 5. I'm gonna put JID in this list. So I will start with JID because everybody that heard episode 5 knows about JID. The reason I put Immortal Technique in the first 5 is because Immortal Technique kind of showed me the way that I want to do rap, you know? He's inspired me. I mean, if you haven't heard Immortal Technique, you need to listen to him. I'm not going to say he's underground, but if you are of new age rap, you won't know who Immortal Technique is because he hasn't made anything since, I don't know, 2009. So look him up. His shit is fucking badass. It's propaganda. It's fuck the government. It's so sick.
Sigh in and out.
And I guess you could say the most famous song that he has is "Dance with the Devil." And if you don't have a fucking sick head, and if you can't handle a fucking gruesome story, and your stomach doesn't handle that kind of shit, don't listen to it. But I will say, Immortal Technique's "Dancing with the Devil" is one of the fucked up songs I have ever heard in my life. Have you heard that song?
No, I have not.
You need to listen to it, man, because at the end, there's a whole story. It's a huge fucking story about a kid doing gang shit, and at the end, he does something real fucked up. Damn. And that fucked up thing is, dude, you would. I'm telling you, you can't even think about the thing that he did. That's how fucked up this thing is.
Damn.
It's so fucked up. But yeah, Immortal Technique is on my fave top 5, and JID got dropped down to my fave top 5 of the 10. And that's how it is. Like I said, I love JID, but he did not mold me to the person I am as a rapper. But I will say, that being said, I said JID. That's number 1. Number 2 coming up is a person that has been in my rap life growing up as a kid. A lot of people don't know him. A lot of people don't even know where he's from or what his music is about. His name is John Rubin. John Rubin. He made an album called John Rubin, the Professional Rapper. He is indeed a Christian rapper. He's always been a Christian rapper. Kind of the same lines as NF, but he kind of stayed behind. Not talking shit about him. It's just that NF kind of professed that he was not a Christian rapper.
Right.
He wasn't a secular rapper either. He was just a guy that does music, and John Rubin kind of stayed and said, you know what, I'm gonna do this whole Christian rap thing. I'm gonna stick with it. And props to him for doing that, because not a lot of people have the fucking balls to do that kind of shit.
Yeah, when I read about NF being a Christian rapper, it didn't seem to jive with his lyrics at all.
Right.
'Cause he talked about like mental illness and shit.
Yeah,
and
he talked about life, and I feel like NF as a person, it was just like, he's not a secular rapper, he's not a fucking Christian rapper, so what is he? He's just a rapper, and he raps about life, and that's great. I'm 100% for him, but as like John Rubin and stuff, he kind of stayed back, like with Toby Mac and all them guys that did Christian rap and stuff. So yeah, John Rubin, he made this album called Professional Rapper, and there's a lot of good shit on that album. If you want to check him out, I mean, dude, the guy has a lot of good shit, and he also kind of molded me to be what kind of rapper I am today. So shout out to Oral Technique and John Rubin for doing that for me, as a kid, fucking trying to figure out what my part is in this world at a young age.
Massive props.
Next, guys, Suicide Boys.
Yeah, that sounds familiar.
Yeah, Suicide. I talk about Suicide Boys all the fucking time.
All the fucking time.
I'm blanking on their Scrim, Ruby the Cherry, and Scrim. They're cousins. I told people about their story about like they
made a pact.
They made a pact about suicide and all that stuff. Real hard into drugs, and now they're not. But Suicide Boys, I listened to them. I started listening to them. I'm not going to say that I started listening to them before anybody else did, but I will say that I started listening to them before anybody in my community did, and that's what kind of started me like liking that type of rap. And the 806 kind of not the 806 but the 3-6 Mafia type
a
flow.
Triplet sort of style,
horror rap, all that kind of shit. Kind of jumped into the new age, and they started doing their own shit, and dude, I fucking love them, and I will always love them, and they're sick as fuck.
That's dope. Fuck yeah.
I put them in my favorite top 5 rap groups, Suicide Boys. So
okay,
I talked more.
That's why that sounds familiar.
Next guy, kind of the same realm, but he's a lone guy. He's a lone ranger. He is darker, I feel like. He's more darker than Suicide Boys. He's more fucked up than Suicide Boys. He isn't a horrorcore. He isn't 3-6 Mafia type of feel, type of beats and all that shit. And his name is Ghostmane. Ghostmane is probably, I'm not going to say he's the fastest rapper.
That sounds cool.
But I will say that his flows do have a very fast tempoed flow to it.
I gotta check
lyrics are fucking awesome. He does a lot of weird shit with his vocals. A lot of cool shit. That's where it's like, what the fuck? I don't think this should be in rap,
Yeah.
But it makes it work. It's very grunge. It kind of brings like these punk rockers, these weird scene kids into the rap realm to where it's like we can coexist with each other. And Ghostmane does that really well. His persona, the way he shows himself, is just fucking dark, scary, weird guy, and it works with him. I fuck with it, and I've always fucked with it.
Right on, man.
Now, the next guys, this is last but not least, they are not a part of any of these groups.
They're not?
Not horrorcore, not fucking, gangster rap, no hood rap or anything. I've talked about their podcast before. Shout out to TMG. It is with Cody Ko and Noel Miller, and they started going into rap music a while back.
Nope.
I'm not gonna say that they are comedian rappers. I hate that word, and I'm sorry, people are gonna fucking hate me, but I don't even like Lil Dicky because of it.
You know what I like calling it is humorcore.
Humorcore. Yeah, that's a good one. Humorcore.
Yeah.
A lot of people love Lil Dicky. Not a fan.
I'm on the fence with him. I'm not a huge fan either.
There's some songs that I fuck with that he's done, but it's the serious ones. Most of them. I don't know if it's just because of a me thing. I don't know if it's my personality or my opinion or whatever, but I just don't see comedy going into rap, and I never saw it until now. And that's when TMG did their first album called Locals Only, and I don't know if they're just doing it right. I don't know if it's just because I'm a biased opinion because I love Cody Ko and I love Noel Miller, but they have made comedy core rap music for me likable. They have this song called "Stay Safe," and it talks about how you need to wear rubbers and consent forms for sex, and it's fucking like the beat is fucking sick, and their flow is fucking dope, and I fucking love those guys. The way that they fucking do their songs, it's funny, but you have to catch it. You have to catch the humor in it, or you're gonna miss it altogether.
Cool.
They did a song called Sophia, and it's about the AI robot.
Oh,
and
yeah.
they're like, we want to fuck her, so they make it like a love song to an AI robot.
I want to hate sex with you.
And it's fucking dope. Now, that being said, Cody Ko and Noel Miller made a album called Locals Only. It's humor core. It's funny as fuck. It's enjoyable. It's not child safe, so don't fucking listen to it if you're fucking, if your mom doesn't like you listening to fucking cuss words and shit.
17 and up.
17 and up, whatever.
Hair in your nuts.
I will say this. Noel Miller is on some shit, bro.
Word.
Noel Miller has made songs that are kind of like just serious. They're just like, his own shit. He just wants to fucking make music and stuff, which is fucking great. He made these songs, man. Let me look it up. Let me look him up, man, because I've always wanted to shout him out, and now it's the time to do it. Noel Miller.
The time is now.
Fuck
yeah, dude.
He made these songs, man. So the two songs that I'm talking about, it's called Lennon's Ghost and Crow. So Lennon as in LENNONSGHOST, Lennon's Ghost, and Crow, CROW, by Noel Miller. And he used instruments that his dad had like accumulated over the years of them moving and shit, and he used them in these songs. And let me tell you, man, I did not see this shit coming. Like, the songs are fucking amazing. The beats are badass. The music video is fucking dope. Kind of like a Mad Max feel, like he's holding onto a roof of a car and someone's driving and he's just like, swerving around in a desert. I love the fucking guy to death. I love Cody Ko and him to death. Shout him out. I'm shouting him out because you need to fucking listen to their podcast. You need to listen to their YouTube channels. They're funny as fuck, and they're moving, man. They are moving in ways that I wish I was right now. They're doing
One
music.
day.
They're just funny as fuck. They're doing big things in their life, and I see it, dude. They just made they just got their new studio, and bro, amazing. They're fucking art. They're my age. And they're doing big things, and I see it every day, and that's what makes me want to fucking do this shit. But yeah, TMG, man, fucking shout them out. They're fucking amazing. Go listen to their music. They're fucking dope.
This kind of that reminded me of this Royce da 5'9" song called Today, off his Death is Certain album.
Yeah.
Where he was all like, basically, if I help you out, will you help me out when it comes to making it? And that was also the same album where it was like, why am I hot when you're not? And why are you rich and I ain't got shit in my pocket but lint?
Yeah.
Yep. And this is a dude who used to rap with Eminem and shit, but beefed with D12 and lost everything, but had to earn it back.
Right.
So that's kind of cool. Like he was out there trying to make himself, to like do it on his own.
Yeah.
And he found out it was harder because he didn't have.
Oh yeah, for sure.
He didn't have connections anymore.
Yeah. Exactly.
But he made it back.
And I feel like, local musicians and artists that want to do some shit like this, like, man, I'm not gonna fucking lie to you. We're doing the same shit. We're fucking below zero. We're ground zero right here, and we're just doing it. Man, if you are down in shit, let me tell you something, man. Like, just keep on fucking doing it. Make fucking albums. Make fucking videos. Paint. I don't know what the fuck you're doing. Whatever you're doing that's a passion that people don't see, fucking keep on doing it, man. Because one day, someone's gonna see that shit, and then you're gonna be on top and say, "Look at me now." You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
So always.
Yeah. Every song that I write now, I put my best shit into. I used to be like, "Oh man, I'm gonna save these lyrics for whenever I have a really good song." No. What I do now is I just write. If it sounds like it's going to be one of them intense cerebral bangers, fuck it. If it sounds like it's gonna be like, not so great, fuck it.
Fuck it.
I decided there's something. There was also a line Royce da 5'9" said. He said, "Everybody in here is one hit away." who knows if that song's gonna be the one that everybody likes?
Right.
It could sound like dog shit. Simplicity is kind of taking precedence now over
Right.
skill, which
Yeah, exactly.
it's the times we live in, dude.
Yeah. And you know, if you're just a guy that fucking makes 2-minute songs, make those 2-minute songs fucking worth it.
But-
if you're a guy that makes fucking 6-minute songs, make those fucking 6 minutes worth it, man.
Make what you want to make. Make
Yeah.
something you would listen to, man. If nobody else likes it, fuck it. You like it, right?
Yep. If you like what you're saying, fucking do it. Do I know that people fucking like listening to political and justifiable fucking rap songs? No, but I'm doing it because why? Because I love it.
And
That's
I don't
what
hold them
do.
back either. I'm like, just do your thing, man.
Do your thing.
How pissed off would I be if they were all like, you can only rap about this? I'd be like, see ya.
Yeah, see you later. Fuck you. I use music as a fucking vent. I use music whenever I get mad and shit. I have fucking problems, I'm gonna fucking put it in a song.
Absolutely.
I feel like everybody is like that. They have a problem, they're gonna put it on paper, they're gonna put it in a fucking painting, they're gonna put it in their songs or a poem or whatever the fuck. That's how it is, you know? We talked about last week about how I was gonna make this big ass album. Dude, I don't know if it was because of me or if it was because of what was happening and stuff. I wasn't feeling it. And I said, you know what? I'm making a new album. Guess what? I made 4 fucking songs already.
Nice.
I've made 4 fucking songs. So, do you, man. This is for everybody. Woman, they, them, him. I don't give a fuck. Do you. Do whatever the fuck you want. Anyway, sorry. I always feel like I have to
apologize,
rant. I always feel like I have to rant on this fucking podcast
I'm
about
just
some
so
crazy
chill.
shit.
I hardly ever butt in. I'm like, yep. It doesn't mean I agree or disagree. It just means everybody's got the right to say what they want to say. You know,
Right.
There's some people out there trying to make a valid point, and some people just trying to be assholes and ruin everybody else's day.
Yeah.
But you do you, man.
Somebody bullying you, someone fucking trashing you, somebody trying to ruin your day. How about this? Make a fucking song about them and let them never fucking forget.
Yeah, immortalize them. Honestly.
Immortalize them in the song, bro. And I don't give a shit who listens to that. Whoever listens to that needs to hear it.
My
and
first
that's all
album
that
was
matters.
like that. The one I recorded in 2005 when I was in high school, I basically went off on fucking everybody, and even my friends were catching it.
No shit.
Because I was just I was going off on everybody who picked on me.
Yeah.
Just, it's a diss album basically. And then I accidentally would mention my friends and shit, and I was like, I didn't realize until afterward. I was like, fuck, man. I just went off. Well, it was my only outlet.
It's not even that, LJ. It's like what I said last week. It was that your friends are there and it's funny and y'all joke around and y'all pick on each other, and that's how it is until there's a point, there's a fucking level to it where it's like, all right, motherfucker, you know how I believe, you know what I feel, you know my thoughts, you know all this shit. Why are you still picking on me about this shit?
Of course.
And it's nothing against those people. It's nothing against your friends. It's nothing. But if it bothers you and they still keep on doing it, they can't get fucking mad for you to express it in a way of a song. They can't get mad at that shit.
Stop picking on me, Braxton.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. Now I still picking on you. No,
I agree with you, man. I do agree with you.
It's just like the whole
we agree.
church thing. I immortalized that.
Leave it.
I've let it go. I forgave the church community. I forgave that shit. But I never forgot. And I immortalized it to where it's like, people need to know what goes down. People need to know what happens in churches like that, where I'm just a kid growing up and they're picking on me because I'm not to their quality when their fucking daughter is getting railed by a married cop.
Yeah. Neva had actually put it into perfect words yesterday when she was talking about it. She was all like, real Christians who practice what they preach are good people. But people who thump Bibles and shit, religious people are fucking crazy.
Yeah.
And my friends actually lost their faith because they work with people who would go to church every day or whatever, but they'd get in a hit and run.
Oh,
and then, yeah. What the fuck is that? Just don't be an asshole.
Yep.
No matter who you are, I
don't care. That's it. Just don't be a fucking dick.
Thou shalt not be an asshole.
Believe in what you want to believe, but don't be a fucking dick to anybody else. Anyway.
All right, here's my list.
LJ, what the fuck? What's your list, dog?
We went on a fucking tirade there. What the fuck are we talking about? Okay. So, this list has my secondary top 5. I guess you could say it's the other half of my top 10. I don't know. I was trying to reach for rappers that I felt motivated me or somewhat inspired me in some way. So here we go. The first one on this list is Snoop Dogg.
Snoop Dogg.
Snoop D-O-G-G. Now, what I've noticed, because Doggy Style is my favorite album by Snoop Dogg. I've listened to everything else, and it's honestly, The reason why Snoop Dogg even made it on this list, he has a smooth voice, and he knows how to use it. He could talk about his dog taking a shit. He'd be like, yeah, man, my dog took a shit. Came out of his butt all squishy and brown. So I stepped in it, but I got a fucking roller stick and whipped his ass. You know, it sounds so smooth.
It's just smooth.
If he whips his dog, that'd be sad. Anyway, yeah, Snoop Dogg. And then his teaming up with Dr. Dre for the Chronic album was genius.
Yeah.
I like to think of Snoop Dogg and Dr. Dre during that era as being a rap group called the Chronic. That's my headcanon. I'm sticking to it.
Hell yeah.
I'm thinking.
And you know what's crazy? I never hear about Snoop Dogg being on a list. Like, everybody knows that he's probably the greatest of all time.
Oh.
But I never see Snoop Dogg being like on a list of like lyrical genius type shit.
Yeah, because I mean he's got good lyrics sometimes.
Right.
But other times, I mean, like he's not really hitting it. He's just saying shit. Like he featured with Insane Clown Posse on a song called The Shaggy Show, and he basically was like, "I'm a real motherfucking G." That's great. We have your song on an album. Why are you here? But then again, like 60% of the shit ICP would rap about was just, whatever,
Right.
And I think that's kind of cool that they got Snoop Dogg.
Right. Yeah, for sure.
As a side note, if you listen to that Amazing Jekyll Brothers album where you have Snoop Dogg on it, ODB is on that album. He's high as fuck on probably heroin, and he's babbling about bitches. And there's a song called "Bitches" on the album. It was like the first ICP song I heard whenever I started listening to him.
Yeah.
And I was like, this song is fucking hilarious because it doesn't make any sense. Like, Jay's talking about a girl who cheated on him when he was in prison. ODB's rapping about bitches, just random people. Then he's like, I will kill you. And in Violent J's book, Behind the Paint, he states that they got the reels back and they were like, well, we can't use any of this shit. So they spent an entire week rearranging his vocals to make a coherent verse, and they could only make 12 bars.
No shit.
12 bars out of all that shit that he recorded.
What the fuck?
Yeah. So, anyways, he says he don't even know what the original song was about. So they just changed it to bitches.
Hell yeah.
That's epic.
Fuck it.
Okay, so I fucked up. Snoop Dogg's name is Snoop Lion.
Oh yeah,
I
Snoop
fucked
Lion.
up.
My bad.
I fucked up.
No, but like you like Snoop Dogg. You like Snoop Dogg back then. It was Snoop Dogg, but now it's Snoop Lion.
He also has an album out called Never Left, and I'm like, look, Neva, your name is on the cover.
Neva, look, Neva, your fucking
It's
name.
like a picture of him in 1992 with his fucking fro out and shit. Okay, second person on this list. I should probably put this person as first, honestly. It was a really tough call to write this list because I was trying to go off of what I was inspired by. Ice Cube. I have never put this dude on the list, and I don't know why.
You know what? That is true. Didn't Ice Cube make like an album last year?
I think he did.
Dope.
But yeah, there was an album whenever I got the stack of CDs from my brother when I started rapping.
Right.
Laugh Now, Cry Later was in there.
Oh yeah.
That album is fucking dope, man.
Hell yeah.
When he was in NWA, when he did Gangsta Gangsta, that's one of my favorite songs off that album.
Fuck yeah, dude.
Whenever you listen to their album Straight Outta Compton, his voice is the very first voice you hear on that album.
I feel like
Anyway.
Ice Cube is another one of those greats of all times, like big guys. I feel like Ice Cube really kind of, not by himself, but like kind of molded rap too.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I think he's definitely one of the most underrated rappers of all time.
Yes.
He may not be flashy or fast or whatever, but he says what needs to be said.
Right.
And he makes it rhyme.
He's a good fucking actor too.
Fuck yeah. Can we point out the irony for a minute that's fucking Ice Cube makes G-rated movies, but he raps about killing cops? How many movies, Ice Cube, have you been a cop in? How many?
A lot. And then that is the irony of it all.
I first saw him in a movie in Are We Done Yet? And I thought, oh shit. He's in a kids movie? What? He's a good actor though. I like him a lot. I especially liked him in Fist Fight.
Yeah.
Ah, so cool, man. So fucking cool. I'm getting calls from Illinois. I'll answer you later, eat dicks. All right. This third rapper on this list, I'm going to try and make this quick because I feel like I'm just dragging it out.
No, that's right. Go on.
There's a rapper who inspired me because I like his group.
Right.
And it was a toss-up between one member or the other member because only one can fit on this list.
Only
one, because putting two would be kind of redundant. Like putting all 6 members of D12.
I put
Suicide
Suicide Boys in my group.
Yeah.
But they are one of my favorite rap groups, you know.
Well, that is true.
So,
Fuck, I didn't think about that.
That's all right. Fuck it.
Anyways, Violent J from Insane Clown Posse.
Oh,
And the reason why, this dude's entire vision, the clown makeup, the Juggalo stuff, the Joker's cards, all came from him. It all started from a dream he had whenever the group, Inner City Posse was trying to change its image. Because he was like, look, man, you know, the West Coast has gangster rap, and, you know, like the other sides of the city or whatever, they do like, you know, crunk or whatever they did. He goes, why can't Detroit be like the horrorcore capital? Why can't we make like funny songs about killing people and shit? And that's how they came up with, and also he's a wrestling fan, so that inspired them to wear makeup and have backstories and shit.
Oh, okay.
Genius.
Gotcha.
You know, like having a storyline.
Yeah, for sure.
And I still think that the Joker cards are probably the most genius idea that anyone's ever came up with musically, at least from a conceptual standpoint, because, like, genius, man. Like, fucking holy shit. Not only does that give you a reason to release albums, but also each album has a theme. And he said, it's like holding up a mirror to the audience. The first album, Carnival of Carnage, was about taking the poverty and the ghettos to the upper class.
Yeah.
The second album was about how much sin have you committed in your life, and if it was embodied, would that dude be bigger than you or smaller?
Right.
Riddlebox was Riddlebox. The fourth album was about this necromancer trying to put images in front of your face to seduce you into doing bad shit, and whether or not you could actually, like, Hall of Illusions.
No shit.
Yeah. So it was like resisting temptation. The fifth album was about, it had these two juggling brothers that, like, the more shit you did in your life that was bad, they would juggle these flaming balls of blood. And if there were too many and they didn't complete the juggling act, you'd go to hell. But if they completed the act, you'd go to heaven. And, of course, the Wraith is like, yeah. And, of course, the Wraith, the sixth Joker card, take you to heaven. Pretty cool. Or to hell.
Either one.
He just kills you is what it is.
He just murders you.
Yeah. So anyways, Violent J, thank you for your impressive input and stuff. Shaggy, I have respect for you as a dope-ass rapper, but I hear Jay on 70% of the stuff, dude, and I had to make a decision. I'm sorry. Okay, next up. This rapper was in two groups that I really like. He was in the Wu-Tang Clan, and he was also in this other group I almost shut the fuck up about called the Gravediggers. You probably heard me talk about them. Yep, Gravediggers. 2 Cups of Blood, all that stuff. He makes beats. He raps. I just feel like I'm repeating myself. Anyway, as they all say, he's a motherfucking genius, unquote.
Yeah.
The RZA.
Genius.
RZA. Yeah, RZA is a very creative rapper, and whenever I started doing, like, beats and shit, I was like, I make my own beats and I rap. I bet nobody else does that. Wrong. RZA did it a long time ago. But that's what you had to do whenever you had too many ideas, is do them, you know?
Right.
And he's a doer. That's what I like about RZA. So thank you, RZA.
He's a doer, not a not doer.
Don't be a crybaby. Don't be a try baby. Be a do baby. Whatever the fuck that means. All right, and finally, there's another rapper from Psychopathic Records.
Ooh.
And I actually got into this person lately, but they only have one EP out.
What are they called?
Blase Rose.
Blase.
Excuse me.
You good?
Yeah, I just burped.
Okay.
I didn't want to cough on the microphone and burp on the mic.
Blase.
Blase Rose is a female rapper that was signed to Psychopathic Records. I don't know if she's still on the label, but she was on a cypher they did called If We Were a Gang. She also did an album called Bruised, and that's a really good EP. It's very dark, hardly funny, but it gives you some sort of insight into the realism of what it's like not only to be a female, but a female rapper.
Yeah.
And sometimes, like I think that she has a darker, probably the darkest image of anyone else signed to the label.
Really?
Because of, the realism. She had songs like Raped at 15.
Ooh,
and
fuck.
that straight up tells you, like, this is going to be dark.
Yeah,
There's a song where she talks about being murdered and thrown in a trunk and shit.
God
and, like,
damn.
she describes her lungs deflating when the knife goes in. I'm like,
Jesus Christ.
yeah, like, what the fuck? I heard
Damn,
this and I was like, no way.
I'm going to have to listen to her, man.
Blase Rose. Check her out. And that's my list.
Hell yeah. So now what I'm going to have to do. Now what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to make these like verses and post them on Instagram and Facebook and see what kind of percentages we get, because I want to see what the best like in people's opinions. Like I said, this is not this is not scientifically proved that these are the best rappers.
The face of our social media.
But the face of our social media and stuff will give us maybe like an idea of what they think is the best overall. Like Snow the Prod versus Mac. I feel like Mac's gonna win, but LG obviously thinks that Snow the Prod will win, and we'll see. We'll see how it goes. You might not hear from it until we get an absolute answer. Until then, but dude, like that's about it, man.
Oh yeah, crunch them numbers, man. This is our scientific division. Also, he calculates whether or not the dopest rappers are dope or not. Oh yeah, man.
It's not even all about that. Like I look deep into it. Like now I gotta look up RZA.
Yeah.
RZA.
The mighty, it's like RZA, yeah. Just look up.
I'm gonna look her up and I'm gonna listen to all of her album because that's what I do. And if I like it, then I'll fuck with it. And if I don't, then I don't. You know.
Yeah, he has some cool shit. He was in Wu-Tang Clan, like I mentioned, and he was also in the Gravediggers, and he made beats for both albums and both groups.
Right.
And he was with both groups until they died.
and they're all rappers I know, like Snoop Dogg and Ice Cube, but I don't know RZA and what's her name? The other one, Blase Rose. I don't know those two, and I'm gonna look them up. And I said RZA Rose, Blase Rose, and RZA.
RZA's a dude, yeah.
And I'm gonna listen to them, and you know, if I fuck with it, then I do, and if I don't, then I don't. And you know, we'll see. But like today, this is how the list is gonna go. Like the verses through verses, it's gonna be John Rubin versus Snoop Dogg, Suicide Boys versus Ice Cube, JID versus Violent J, Ghostmane versus RZA, and TMG versus Blase Rose. Like, these are going to be completely opposite of each other. This is like North and South Pole.
Can you see the generational gap here?
The generational gap is fucking crazy. But that's how we're going to do it, and we'll see. You know, I have OGs on my Facebook. LJ has OGs on his Facebook. And they'll probably like that stuff. I know a lot of my generation people listen to his stuff, but also they listen to my stuff. So it's gonna be up and down, man.
The newest what am I doing? The newest rapper I have on this list is Blase Rose. She came out in 2017. Everyone else is from the 90s.
No shit.
Or 80s, yeah.
Wow. I'm really gonna have to listen.
Yeah, she's from 2017, and she has a really catchy rap style. I think that you'd actually like it. It's dope.
No shit.
Yeah, she tears it up.
I'm really gonna have to. I mean, I love women artists. I love women vocalists. I love women rappers. I mean, Winnie is one of my favorite female rappers right now. And
I love when they take the craft seriously, but can also have some fun with it.
So serious.
Like, you have to flash your tits in order to be noticed. I'm sorry, you're not.
Get out of here. Get out of here. We don't want to see your
tits.
Get out of here,
I
don't want to see your ass. I don't want to see your tits. I want to see your vocals. I want to see what's in that mind.
I don't want to see your boobs. I want to see your mouth.
I mean, it's the same thing with fucking guys too, man. I fucking hate these fucking dudes that flash their money and flash their fucking cars and all that shit. Like, I don't give a fuck about all that stuff, bro.
If you look at no shit, because if you look at like new rappers today, 90% of them, swear to God, they got music videos, weed, bitches, money, guns. Yeah, same thing.
And
every video.
And it's so weird because they talk about fucking girls. Like they talk about what they do having sex with girls, and I'm like, I don't fucking need to know that shit. I want to know how you got here. I want to know if you rolling or not. I want to know all the crazy shit that's inside your fucking mind. I don't give a fuck about how hard you flex. I don't give a shit about your fucking boobs or your ass or your fucking dick. I don't give a shit about all that, bro. I want to know what's inside here, bro. I mean, yes, obviously it gets them somewhere. And how we fucking rap and shit, there is a story to it, and I guess that's how we were grown as rappers and stuff. But at the same, I get tired, bro.
Absolutely.
But, like right now, the generational gap is we have Snoop Dogg, Ice Cube, all these fucking people that have fucking songs that got them to where they're at right now. Oh, yeah. And we have what, NF?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it's hard because every fucking rapper, I feel like every fucking rapper is the same.
And the thing is, like, I think I mentioned this in one of the earlier episodes, like white rappers had to really pull out the big guns whenever they're rapping to be noticed, because if you're just white and you rap, no one gives a fuck.
No one gives a
but
shit.
Like you have Eminem, you have NF, Vanilla Ice, even like they had to fucking like they had to. Yeah, they really had to put work into their shit in order to be noticed, even. Or if you're like Kid Rock, you had an image.
Yeah,
you know?
it definitely is hard. It definitely that just changed. It definitely, I don't know. I feel it's a lot louder. It is a lot harder in that where like white people trying to rap and white rappers and stuff.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's like you end up being in this like train of thought of like, oh, everybody raps like this, so should I.
Yeah,
and it's like
that's happening
gang
too.
banging and money and bitches and drugs and how much your fucking necklace cost.
You know what? I want to see. I want to see a female rapper. You know how they got like dude rappers now that like objectify women, call them bitches and stuff.
Right.
I want to see female rappers make songs objectifying dudes.
Oh yeah, and there is some.
And
there is some.
Like, yeah.
But why? But
full
it's
of
just
skills.
but it's just like those songs don't get fucking views because the agenda of the world is man-made.
It's kind of crazy. Yeah, it's like a backwards. Like one-sided.
There's politics in music, which is really weird. Whenever it becomes like Immoral Technique, System of a Down. Who else is kind of like fuck the system?
Damn, I don't know. None come to mind.
I know that Immoral Technique is a phenomenal rapper, and he has not blown up the way he was supposed to.
Metallica said "fuck the system" on 2 albums, Master of Puppets and Injustice for All, and on both of those albums, they were basically like, "You're being used."
Right.
Whether it's by drugs, whether it's by the government, whether it's by your preacher, your parents, you're being used.
No shit.
Be independent, yeah. And
maybe it's just the way you're at. Type of deal.
The Justice album is my favorite because it talks directly about being used by the government or being ostracized for having certain political beliefs or whatever.
Right.
You know? Fuck, man, they made a song about a guy who got his arms and legs blown off and he wants them to kill him and they want to keep him alive.
But I feel like they had a backing way before they made those songs.
Oh yeah, they were road dogs before they ever started making an album.
I feel like Immoral Technique should have kind of done sometimes you gotta fake it to make it. I feel like Immoral Technique should have done that a little bit until she started doing propaganda. But if you're into that and you fuck with it and you fucking and that's why you want to do it, then yeah, by all means, fucking do it. I don't care.
Oh yeah,
I love his shit anyway. But the battery's about to die. We're gonna fucking go. Like I said,
new battery
every fucking week, man. Go look at our website, undeniablemisfortune.com. Our merch, our music, what's happening, our podcast, our live events are on that shit. Go check it out. It's a fun website. If you found our podcast on there, go to our YouTube and give us a like and subscribe and a comment. It's MOSHCAST with LJ inside. That's what it is. And you know who I am. I'm Braxton. You can find me on Facebook. You can find Almighty Psy on Facebook, Instagram. My Instagram for Braxton is _Brack. Almighty Psy's on Instagram too. That's who I am. You know what I'm saying? Fuck them. LJ, who the fuck are you?
LJ, you can find me on YouTube under 2 channels, youtube.com/lowdown505. That's LODOWN505. You can also find my band, KBX, on youtube.com/KBXBAND. I'm also on Snapchat, but I never use it because I'm a free thinker, I guess, or I'm just lame at it. But look for me on Instagram, LJ_LODOWN.
Hell yeah. And that is episode 11. We'll see you fucking next week. See you later. Peace.
After a while, whatever. Okay, fuck it.